Good evening and welcome to our final show of the first semester. I'm Jack Stefanelli.
And I'm Cadence Kilhoff. We begin tonight with what many people in our area are looking forward to this weekend. The Steelers secured a playoff spot and will face the Buffalo Bills in a postseason playoff game this Sunday at 1 p.m. The Tennessee Titans helped get the Steelers into playoffs by beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 28-20. The Steelers have not played the Bills this NFL season, making it an exciting game for NFL fans. Critics and fans alike are relieved to know that the Steelers got into the playoffs this year after they were unable to make the cut last year. Unfortunately, Steelers linebacker TJ Watt will be out this game due to a knee injury from the last regular season game. He got taken out in the third quarter against the Baltimore Ravens last week and did not return to the game. Be sure to watch the game this weekend on broadcast nationally on CBS and locally on KDKA. Good luck to our Steelers this Sunday.
On Tuesday, the girls' basketball team took on Pine Richland in a thriller. The main storyline coming into the game was Madison Zavasky, guard for Pine, having the possibility to reach 1,000 career points. Even with Seneca's best efforts to stop her, the accomplishment was reached early in the game. Natalie Hamley, point guard and sophomore, led the Raiders in points with 17. Zavasky had a great outing with 24 points, leading Pine Richland. Seneca was able to pull out the win after the fourth quarter and the lead flip-flopping. This marks the 10th win in a row for the Raiders, and they are now number one in the section. Contributors for this win came from Michaela Canty, SVTV's very own Cadence Kilhoff, Natalie Hamley, Gracie Cato, Emerson Peffer, Allison Seven, Brooke Dufford, and Legacy Joseph Short.
One of the Seneca Valley wrestlers have reached a goal that not many wrestlers in high school get to reach in their career. The senior, Connor Smith, has reached his 100th win at the end of the month of December. Roman Royal has this report.
Connor Smith, a senior on the Seneca Valley wrestling team, has won his 100th match of his high school career. Connor had an early start with getting bumped up to the varsity team his 9th grade year. He ended up winning 27 matches his first year in varsity. With him winning on average 30 matches per season, there was no doubt that he would reach this goal within no time. Now let's go talk with Connor Smith and some of his coaches.
Well, I started wrestling the year I moved here, which is when I was 3, so I think this is my either 14th or 15th year. Been a long time.
I think the biggest characteristics he had were just his hard work over the years, his consistency as far as into the room and out of the room, his nutrition at home, staying healthy and taking care of any little minor injuries before they get major, because to get 100 wins, it takes a longevity and a lot of wrestling over your career.
My dad always goes over my record with me, he's been doing that since I was in 9th grade. And I think my 9th grade year I got like 28 or 29 wins or something. I know I'd be wrestling all high school, so if you do the math, it should just play out, and it did, so hope to get more.
Yeah, his schedule, he walked into a team that was one of the top teams of the state, and so starting with his freshman year, he was running with a schedule of guys that were placing top 2, top 1, first place, multiple state place winners in the state, and our team in general was ranked up there in the state. So he wasn't walking into an easy tournaments. He was going into some really tough competition and having to really battle to get his wins.
Well, I started wrestling because my dad, he wrestled into college and wrestled all then, so obviously I picked it up. And my mom was a gymnast, so she obviously wanted me to do something active too, but I didn't want to. I did gymnastics for like 2 years, and I don't know, I guess just over time wrestling kind of stuck with me, and I started winning matches, doing decent, so decided to just keep working harder, and yeah, I just kind of stuck with it.
It's tough no matter who you are to get to 100 wins. His is a little bit harder just from entering in such a tough team at the start and having such a tough schedule, but he rose to that occasion.
Yeah, so I'm going to Columbia to wrestle, and I plan on wrestling all 4 years. I mean, things can change, injuries can happen, but I plan to wrestle all 4 years in college, and hopefully have a starting spot, do good in college hopefully, and maybe in the future run my own wrestling club or something. I don't know, open to the possibilities, I guess.
And now on to another amazing accomplishment from a Seneca student. Senior Alexander Kim recently published his first book, Matthew B. Ridgway, Korean War Veterans Association of Western Pennsylvania, which he published alongside Hun Sung-oh. This book shares untold stories of local heroes from the Korean War. Kim said, quote, "The book covers the history of the Korean War Veterans Association of Western Pennsylvania, also called Chapter 74 because it was the 74th chapter of the National Korean War Veterans Association," end quote. We interviewed Alex to get more information on this recent publishing.
Hi, I'm Alexander, and I'm currently a senior at Seneca Valley, and I'm here to introduce my book that I published recently on the Korean War Veterans Association of Western Pennsylvania. The most challenging part for me for publishing the book was probably raising the money to actually publish the book and print the book, and so we needed to print around 100 to 200 copies. And then that ended up being around $5,000 or so, a couple $1,000s, and we didn't have that money laying around in the organization, so we had to fundraise. All right, so what inspired me was probably just working with the Korean War veterans, right? So I volunteer regularly for the Korean War Veterans Association of Western Pennsylvania, and I have a lot of interactions with these veterans, and a lot of them are passing away, and there's not many years left before they are all gone. So this is really a way of capturing their memories before they are gone for good.
Congratulations to Alex. As of yesterday, the second 9 weeks of the 2023-24 Seneca Valley school year ended. This means that the first team for the morning announcements class, Seneca says, has officially finished their broadcasts. With just 7 students in the actual class, the hard work and camaraderie had brought everyone together, making exceptional shows. With the help of some students that have a 5th period lunch, everyone came together to make these daily announcements possible. With 9 broadcasting positions needed for a successful show, every day was a new quest to find guest anchors as well as cameramen, teleprompter controllers, and audio workers. It definitely helped that numerous students, such as Ray Heater, Savannah Morley, and myself, had taken the announcements class more than once. Their experience gave the morning announcements something extra that kept the viewers watching and wanting more.
Seneca Valley is redoing its scheduling process by organizing scheduling options to align with the National Career Pathways. The National Pathways separate careers into 5 categories, including arts and media, business management, education and law, health and human services, and industry and engineering. Each one of these pathways had a meeting in the senior high library last week to help guide students to what classes would best be suited to take for their career and college life. While scheduling for course registration, students will go through their pathway to see the regular and cyber classes that are available in their pathway. Students can still choose classes not in their pathway. Pathways have also changed the student schedule because once a month, the students meet in the pathway meetings to work on career readiness and future planning. The ultimate goal of the changes is to help students decide what they want to do after high school.
The academic decathlon team at Seneca Valley has had a largely successful season thus far, marked by high placement in tournaments and great individual success for those competing. We interviewed some members, as well as the club sponsor, to learn more about how their season is going.
The Seneca Valley academic decathlon team has been largely successful in their competitions throughout the course of the season so far. Students on the academic decathlon team compete individually and as a team, demonstrating their knowledge and skills in various subjects.
I'm David Reichard. I'm the coach of academic decathlon. The most challenging part of the season so far is honestly probably coming in. We lost some seniors last year. I wasn't sure what to expect with a new group of students, but they've been doing a fantastic job. It was kind of a hard selling point, tackling this year's theme, which was very difficult, technology and humanity, from neuroscience to music and science fiction films. So I was kind of concerned that the students might not like this year's topic, but they came right in, dove right into the material, and it's been a fantastic season so far.
I would say that the most challenging part of the season, specifically for me so far, is reading the book, because each academic season we have a new book that's required for our literature subject. And the book this year, though short, it was very boring. It took me a while to get through it, and I'd say that I read it a while ago, so I don't remember a lot of it, but that was definitely the most challenging part for specifically this year.
The most challenging part of the seasons for me was a mix of a few things, really, but especially math. The past competition I medaled in math, took gold medal in math, which is some miracle. That was a fluke, I promise. But some other challenging bits were essay. I'm not a terribly strong writer, but I'm working on it. So math and essay have been the most challenging bits.
Each year, a specific theme is chosen for which the study material is centered around. Students are assigned to one of 3 divisions based on their GPA. Their ultimate aim, of course, being to have a higher score than that of their opponents in these tests.
The greatest improvement I've seen this year so far has definitely seen some of the new students step up and really jump into the resource guides, attend practices, and definitely helping one another, especially with social science. The social science topic this year is history of computers, and it's been great seeing some of the freshmen, the sophomore, the juniors, the seniors all working together to study the exact same topic.
Is my test taking ability. Not just like guessing a random letter, but more importantly, spending my time, taking my time more particularly, and making sure that I answer each question to the best of my ability, not letting one slip by. And I'd say that's the biggest thing I've improved on this year.
So I guess what I've improved on the most is at the beginning of the season, and before the first competition especially, I was more or less just focusing on one subject, not really realizing what it was all about, that students do take all 10 tests and you're expected to do, okay on all of them if you want a top 9 place. And after I, kind of lucked into the 9th spot in my first competition, I started coming to practices more, started paying attention more, started reading, and I think that's what's really helped me.
One aspect of the team that I think they could still improve on, definitely speech and interview. So there are the subjective events. Our team this year is really tackling the objective events. They know how to study, what to study, from practice tests to flashcards. But I think there's always room for improvement in both speech and interview. We partner up and ask each other questions for interview, and it never hurts to keep practicing our prepared speeches over and over again.
For our team, I think the biggest challenge is that it's like a competition between all of us. Because yeah, we do beat other teams a lot, but between our own, we have a very stacked team this year. So making sure we get on the top 9 is very hard because the next guy under you is not too far from you. So he could very easily come up and take your spot.
The most challenging aspect for me about being on the academic decathlon team is simply how nitpicky the resource guides are and the tests about those guides. It's down to numbers, and a lot of the questions that I get wrong are like, is it 200,000 or 200, 2,000, and it's just numbers, and that's what's really messed up for me. I can get the basic concepts, but the real nitpicky dates are real tough.
Participation in academic decathlon provides students with opportunities to develop leadership skills, improve academic performance, and engage in a diverse range of subjects beyond their traditional high school curriculum. Many remark on their enjoyment for the intellectual, challenging environment that is provided to them.
Students in the video production documentary class are almost done with their final projects and will be premiering them on January 25th and the 26th. These large projects showcase a variety of topics from cars, haunted houses, to what it's like to being a twin. The documentaries were at Seneca Valley in the Senior High Auditorium at 6:30 p.m. on the 25th. The documentaries that will premiere include Behind the Walls with Big Family by Angel Barlow, Soul Searching by James Chamberlain, History's Cars by Ben Stanton, Spark Your Adventure by Lucas Whitman, and Fighting Fire by Nick Oldecker. On the 26th, the documentaries that will be airing are The Truth About Twins by Sophia Barlow, Behind the Mockumentary by Eli Lippert, Opa by Leo Simon, and Behind the Lens, Sports Videography by Ella Schmidt. To learn more about the process in the premieres, we are joined by one of the filmmakers, Lucas Whitman. Lucas.
And I'm here with Lucas and Ben. How are you guys doing today?
Very good.
Could you tell me what your documentaries are about?
My documentary is about the state park at McConnell's Mill.
And yours?
Mine's about a local car mechanic who worked at the Ford Museum as the head mechanic for 8 years.
Awesome. Could you guys tell me what the biggest challenge was when making a documentary?
My biggest challenge for my documentary would just be getting a variety of shots. It's a big location, but there's a few buildings there and a single bridge and just a scenic gorge that runs through with a very nice waterfall. But getting a variety is kind of difficult. There's not much there, but there is a variety to film inside the building. But yeah.
My biggest struggle was I had an hour-long interview, but no B-roll to go with it. So I I had to find a bunch of stuff online. Like when I was there, I didn't get a chance to get much footage. With my schedule, I couldn't really go to car cruises and get a bigger grasp on car culture and stuff like that. And then I got a surgery, so I was home for like the most of December, and yeah, I couldn't really get any of my own stuff, so I just had to search online for stuff, and that took hours just to find one specific thing.
Wow. And what is B-roll?
Oh, B-roll, it's the stuff that like goes over things. So like if there's a voiceover or something, it's kind of just like interesting visuals to add on.
And why should people come see your documentaries?
I think people should come see my documentary because it was a running mill from 1852 to 1928, and it's a very big historical landmark. People from all across the country, from all different continents across the world except from Antarctica, come to visit McCall's Mill because they hear so much good stuff about it, and they want to hear what everyone else is talking about.
People should come see my documentary because it gives an insight on car restoration. He worked at the Ford, and because of that, he does auto restorations and things like that. And it's kind of a dying art, and it showcases that art.
That is awesome, and congratulations. It's a huge accomplishment to finish a documentary.
Thank you.
Back to you, Jack.
Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Be a hero and give blood. Cranberry Township Police are teaming up with the Seneca Valley Foundation to do a blood drive on Monday, January 15th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. The event will be held at Movement Studio at Ermhead Road in Cranberry. The purpose of this drive ensures critical blood supplies remain plentiful. Appointments are recommended before going. To schedule an appointment, visit valiant.org for more information about this process.
Thanks for joining us this semester. It's been our pleasure to produce these shows over the last several months. We're excited to see the new Seneca Scout members next semester with their shows. Have a great year.